It's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. The real news and strong opinions given here. A platform to chop up game with the family, you dig?
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here, and welcome to the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show, the Hump Day edition. Middle of the week, y'all. You know how we do. We back on the airways, back in the building, bigger and better than ever. And I thank all of you for giving me 35, 45, 55 minutes of your time. Each time we come up and we produce a show, it means a whole lot. So before we start, I'm going to give out the information, even though everything is on the bar at the bottom of the screen here. And I also give I'll make sure that I put the two websites in the description box below. Check us out there. But the phone lines are open at 1-800-591-4548. That's 1-800-591-4548. Check it out. Do what you got to do. Leave a message, give us a call, leave a comment, and I will make sure that I get to it as quick as possible. Either I'll do an email to you, I will conversate with you through social media, or if it's a big enough deal and I have enough people who put out something, it will definitely be a segment on one of our shows. So with all that, without further ado, we're going to talk about the three stories that we have today. Now, you know, I usually don't talk about President Tangerine. I really don't at all because he's a fool. You know, I was just talking to the missus the other day. I don't know if I totally just put him as a cold-blooded, dyed-in-the-wool racist. I mean, he's a bigot, and he's a narcissist, and he's a homophobe. He's just a straight asshole. But he's just dumb. Just dumb. Just extremely dumb. You know, I mean, you know, when you look at a Richard Spencer, it is a racist, white supremacist fiend first and then everything else after. But Donald Trump, just dumb at first. Just, you know, it makes you wonder how in the hell did he parlay the $400 million that his dad gave into an alleged $1 billion, you know, conglomerate, if you will. I mean, a lot of people don't know that this man has filed for bankruptcy 4 times in his businesses, so he done screwed over other people's money and he got to keep his. So I digress. But we're going to talk about this one because I got sent it the other day, and it's about his little speech, his little 35 minute diatribe of basic, you know, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and Obama ain't shit, and he ain't never did nothing for you, and it's just stupid. First of all, when it first came to my desk, and I was like, why in the hell would you have this narcissistic buffoon have an invitation to speak to the Boy Scouts and all of these young, impressionable boys? Well, then I read further down, I did some research, and it's always been an open invitation for a sitting president. So I guess last year, or maybe the year before that, President Obama had another thing to do. So what he did was he, instead of blowing it off, which a whole bunch of other presidents have done, he recorded a video message and they played it. And, you know, he apologized for not being able to be there. You know, he had state functions to do this, that, you know, something the president's supposed to do, not what 45 is doing now, something that a real president's supposed to do, you know, protect the country, build the economy, you know, that type of stuff right there, you know, and he was actually doing that. But okay, so you have this on here. So he comes out and it's just dumb. I'm not going to read the whole speech because I really don't. But it's like 40,000 scouts and volunteers, right? And he just went on this incoherent, raging political rally, you know, like a rally, you know, and you're talking to kids. It's just ridiculous. It was like, you know, he boasted about his election day victory. Okay, yeah, okay, you can actually boast with that because you beat Hillary Clinton, and even Donald Trump is like, there's no way that I should have won this election. No way. You know, no way. Just no way. He's dumb, but he ain't stupid. He know he wasn't supposed, but when you put a three-legged horse and a four-legged horse dash in a race, that's what you get. The three-legged horse is going to lose 9 out of every 10 times. Then he went on to say, blasted Hillary Clinton, and, former President Barack Obama complained that his fake news media coverage, and urged that his health secretary Tom Price, a former Boy Scout, to get the votes in Congress to help start our path towards killing this horrible thing called Obamacare. It's just stupid. Why, again, you are talking to kids. You are not talking to your constituents. You're talking to young minds. But he's so ignorant, so narcissistic that he can't correlate the two. He can't. He just talks. I mean, it's just, again, looking at the Daily News, said the speech drew mortified reaction from many parents of Boy Scouts who complained about it on the Scouts Facebook page and drew comparisons to social media to a Hitler rally. A Scout leader, this is quoting a Scout leader, my stomach is in knots about what Trump did today. This is Senator Chris Murphy. He used to be a Scout leader. If you haven't watched it yet, don't. It's downright icky. It's just stupid. It says Trump broke decades of tradition by infusing his Boy Scout address with partisan politics. Never happened before. Never, because they know they are not talking to constituents. They're talking to kids. 8 presidents dating back from Franklin Delano Roosevelt have addressed the Jamboree. In their speeches often struck civic service, American ideals. None before have brought up conflicts with media, political opponents, or his own cabinet members. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Then he started being divisive and started to get, because again, kids don't know any better. I always say that if you look at a child, what they do, it gives you an indication to where they are in their home life. If they acting crazy, evil, 9 out of 10 chances their home life is not that not that good. It's not that positive. Now, there are always exceptions to the rules. You can have people who have parents who work real hard, but they're never there. So then the child, even though they have 2 loving parents who work to provide for them, they are being pushed into a social media group, or they're at a friend's house, or they're across the street, or they're playing outside, being indoctrinated to that influence that is outside of their parents. Just like when I hear a child use the N-word, that child learned that N-word from somewhere. A lot of times that child has learned the N-word from their parents. So you look at this, he's chanting and they're booing a former president. He sits up and says, just a question, did President Obama ever come to a Jamboree? He asked at one point. The crowd roared back, no. The Scouts also booed Obama's name when Trump brought it up. Again, why would you do that? I said, when they sent this to me, I replied back, and I was like, I've never in my 49 years have ever seen a Caucasian male who is a quote-unquote so-called billionaire be so jealous and so indoctrinated in a well-spoken, well-educated black man in my life. You would think that Trump, because again, Trump wasn't running against Obama. Trump was running against Clinton. And you beat Clinton. Clinton is not on the scene. She is not using her speeches to dog you out. She's not on Twitter. Barack Obama is not on Twitter dogging you out. Why do you insist on having these 2 people's voices in your mind, in your brain? It just shows he is a child. He is a petulant child. A lot of people sat up there and said, oh, I'm scared that, he has his finger on the trigger and he can do wars and stuff like that. Let me tell you one thing. I'd be willing, because I can say this because I was a military veteran. I am a military veteran. I was in the Air Force for 6.5 years. I've been a police officer for 23 years. there would be a bunch of people who would commit outright treason to make sure that he does not do anything stupid to destroy the world. You follow what I'm saying? Almost to the point where you might have a cat that will pull his service weapon and blow somebody up and do something. Maybe shoot the dang on bag. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be used or something like that. I just don't see that happening. I really don't. I don't think that somebody's going to allow that to happen. You know, it'd be treason. Be like, no, we're just going to run away with the box. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody's going to do anything to him, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, sometimes you sit back and you think about it. You'd be like, nah. They'd be like, nah, this is not the best thing to happen. So, again, like I said, I don't talk about 45, but when this came on, I was like, dude, you know, petulant child. He really need to be gone. And we've only dealt with him for 7 months. You still got, unless he gets impeached, you still got a little less than 3.5 years to deal with his nonsense. Oh my God. I'm just hoping that in 2018, you get enough people to vote, you get enough candidates, the right candidates to run. Because let me tell you something, if you try to run the same bullshit candidates that you ran before in this last election, you're going to get the same results. But if you run people who are to the left, people who are in the progressive army, people who believe in equal distribution of the wealth, equal justice for all, and everybody should be able to live off and eat off the fruits of their own labor and not be held back because of their color, their religion, their sexual orientation, their age, that type of stuff right there. If you have a wave of people like that, then by 2018, and actually they'll take over in January of 2019, I think he'll be a lame duck president. I truly believe so. I truly do believe so. But that's even there. So that's the first story. The second story is something that came across my desk, and it's come from Washington State. I forgot about this case about this Asian American who had shot this would-be shoplifter and killed him in his convenience store. And the headline was, Washington convenience store owner sentenced to 8 years for fatally shooting a shoplifter. Now, if you don't remember the whole thing, his name is Min Kim. He's the owner of the, well, I don't know if he's still going to be the owner, but I think his wife will still be there, of the owner of the Pacific Quick Shop in Spanaway. Appeared in court Friday to be sentenced for the fatal shooting, and this is in March 2016, of a 20-year-old Jakeel Rashon Mason. He said, I guess, in his statement, he says, I'm here to take responsibility for my action of taking Mason's life. Kim, who I previously pled guilty to second-degree murder, I accept the consequences. I did not have the right to take the life. Mason, who was the victim, was shot in the back after trying to steal a package of cigarettes. He died before the first responders could arrive. During the interview, this is in 2016, during the interview last year before his arrest, Kim told the Fox News affiliate that he fired the gun because he was in fear for his life. The police said the surveillance videos inside the store painted a different picture. Apparently, Mr. Min went outside of his convenience store because there was a couple of people, I don't know if they were black or white, most likely they were black. They were standing in front of his establishment, and he told them to go away. When he came back in, Mason, right? Mason? Yeah, Mason. Mason was trying to grab some cigarettes. Well, at that time, Mim, the suspect, had his gun, pointed his gun towards Mason. Mason had his hands up. Mim then holstered his weapon and immediately punched Mason in the face. They started fighting. Mason got up because obviously Kim wasn't going to whoop his ass, as we see. And as he got up to turn around and run out of the store, he was shot and he was killed. And he got 8 years for second-degree murder. And if you know second-degree murder, if I'm not mistaken, is anywhere, and I know it fluctuates between states, but it's anywhere between 8 years and 25 years. So he got the lower end of the what's called. Now, my thing is this. This is what I think. Is there something called justifiable homicide? Yes, there is. And I agree with that. And it has nothing to do with me being a police. The stand your ground rule, the premise of it, not the way it's put out, not the racist way and the evil and wicked way is put out, because for one people can use it that way, the other people can't. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you do not have to flee if you're being attacked, you can protect yourself with up to deadly force. I agree with that. However, the burden to prove the deadly force, that you were in a life-threatening, hold on one second. That you was in a life-threatening situation should be up to you. It should be up to you. It shouldn't be, oh, well, I was in fear for my life, this, that, and the third, because as we could see with Kim, he wasn't in fear for his life. You follow what I'm saying? Or if he was in fear for his life, the person was trying to get away and trying to flee out the window. Out the door. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make this text. Let me see. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so what I was saying about the stand your ground and thing, if it was a situation where a fight ensued, and again, you cannot start a fight or put yourself in a position and then because you're losing the fight or you in the bad position, then say, I want to use stand your ground, I was using self-defense. No. And at this particular moment, Mr. Kim, the video showed Mr. Kim hosted his weapon after Mason had his hands up, punched him in his face. They began to fight. Mason got up, tried to run outside the door. Kim shot him. That is not stand your ground. That is not fear for your life. That is not protecting your life because a person is gone and fled. So he should have got close to the top end of the 25 years than the lower end of the 8 years. If it was a situation where the gun went off mistakenly, or maybe he had a shot, like he initiated the fight, he was on the ground, Mason got up, went at him with deadly force, like he grabbed a hammer or something like that and he shot him, then I can sort of understand. I still feel that you can't initiate, or you shouldn't be able to initiate the violence and then claim self-defense when you getting your ass whipped. But I would be like, okay, cool, we're moving in. But it also lets you understand that when people say Black Lives Matter, a lot of people don't believe that Black lives do matter. You know, I mean, it was blatant, so it's kind of hard for you to let the person go because you can see the video. But what you do is, I'm going to give you the least sentences I possibly can because, hey, he was a dirtbag, he shouldn't have been stealing. Because a lot of people don't realize that in the old days, you used to get lynched. I'm talking about white, black, red, yellow, whatever. They used to do what they call, street justice. You got stealing, they cut your hands off. That type of stuff right there. So this barbarism is not so far off than what we see. So yes, I'm glad, I can't even say he got convicted because he confessed, but he only confessed probably after the video came out. And again, some people might think they said something or think this happened, but when they see, oh no, that's not really what happened. Because your mind blocks out certain things. You feel me? But the 8 years is way too lenient for the death and how it happened. You follow what I'm saying? So, we still got a long way to go, really and truly, this also goes back to what I said in many shows before when I said that people do not understand how much power you as a consumer have. If you stop frequenting somebody's business, all people, one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to straighten up, fly right, and treat you with the proper respect, or they're going to go out of business. Then somebody else is going to come in there, and you're going to tell them the same thing. Hey, we just ran these clowns out. Okay, we just ran them out, period, because they didn't do this, that, and the third. And if you feel that you are not going to do that, you out of gas. You just straight out of gas as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. The other thing was Draymond Green. I'm not going to go through that because I want to do some more research and stuff, but that's the end of our show. I did it in 20 minutes. Try to do that really, really cool. So that's going to be the end of our show. I will see you Friday for What's the Real Deal, and then Saturday again for Big Rich Live on the Mic, the Saturday edition. So in the meantime, in between time, stay blessed, stay safe, stay woke. Peace. I'm out of here.